Greetings, students and families. I am Miss Billingslea, a first grade teacher at Bethune Elementary School. Today, I will deliver the final stable syllable review lesson 137. This week, we are taking a look back on everything we've learned about phonics and reviewing it, so that we can be sure we use all of our knowledge to make us better readers and writers. Our Georgia Standard of Excellence, ELA GSE 1R F3 Period A, Know and Apply Grade Level Phonics and Words Analysis Skills in Decoding Words. Also, ELA GSE 1R F3 Period E, Decoding two-syllable words following basic patterns by breaking the words into syllables. Echo these words and listen for the sound in the final position. Table, thimble, bubble. What sound do you hear in the final position? Bow. This sound is different from those we have been learning because it contains two sounds, B and O. What do you see that might make the B sound? B-L-E. Right. B-L-E makes the B sound. B-L-E is something new that we call a final stable syllable. We call it stable because it doesn't change. We can count on it always having the B sound in the final position. Echo these words and listen for the sound in the final position. Table, thimble, bubble. What sound do you hear in the final position? Bow. This sound is different from those we have been learning because it contains two sounds, B and O. What do you see that might make the B sound? Right. B-L-E makes the B sound. B-L-E is something new that we call a final stable syllable. We call it stable because it doesn't change. We can count on it always having the B sound in the final position. The strange thing about its being a syllable is that we don't see the vowel that makes the sound. The vowel E we do see doesn't make a sound. It's silent. So let's cross the E's out. The vowel sound we do hear in the final stable is the schwa sound. This is the sound that you hear between the B and the O, the B and the L. We call a final stable syllable by placing a bracket in front of it. Echo the word ruffle and listen for the sound in the final position. What sound do you hear in the final position? Full. What do you see that might make the full sound? Right. F-L-E makes the full sound in ruffle. Now, echo staple. What sound do you hear in the final position? Pull. What do you see that might make the pull sound? Right. P-L-E makes the pull sound in staple. Now echo candle. What sound do you hear in the final position? What do you see that might make the dull sound? Right. D-L-E makes the dull sound in candle. What do you think full, pull, and dull are? Right. These are final stable syllables. Why do you call them final? They are in the final position. Why do we call them stable? Because they don't change. Why do we call them syllables? Because they have their own vowel sounds. How do we code final stable syllables? We code final stable syllables with brackets in front of them and cross out the silent E. Echo the word bottle and listen for the sound in the final position. What sound do you hear in the final position? Toe. What do you see that might make the toe sound? T-L-E. Now echo bugle. What sound do you hear in the final position? Gull. What do you see that might make the gull sound? G-L-E. What are toe and gull called? They are called final stable syllables. Why do we call them final? Because they're in the final position. Why do we call them stable? Because they don't change. Echo these words and listen for the sound that's the same in the final position. Motion, section, nation. What sound do you hear in the final position? Shun. What letters do you see that might make the shun sound? T-I-O-N. Right. The letters T-I-O-N are making the shun sound. T-I-O-N is another final stable syllable. Do you remember why we call these syllables final? Because they are in the final position. Why do we call them stable? Because they do not change. We call these syllables final stable syllables because they are always in the final position and their sound does not change. Why do you think the letters shun are a syllable? We call the letters T-I-O-N a syllable because they have their own vowel sound, How do we code final stable syllables? We code the final stable syllables with brackets. The bracket divides the word into syllables. Say the final stable syllables with me. Final stable syllable, bull. Final stable syllable, full. Final stable syllable, pull. Final stable syllable, dull. Final stable syllable, tull. Final stable syllable, gull. Final stable syllable, shun. Now, students, it is your turn to demonstrate what you have learned. Pull out your journals or a piece of paper. Write, code, and read the words. Next, match the words to the picture by using the number and letters. For example, picture 1 matches with letter C. So you will write 1C. Save your work or take a screenshot and send it to your teacher. Make sure you head your paper with your name and today's date. Now, complete 2 through 6 on your own. Save your work or take a screenshot and send it to your teacher. Make sure you head your paper with your name and today's date. Now, complete 2 through 6 on your own. Now read the following sentence to your parents. I am going to dictate a sentence to you. First, listen to the sentence as I read it to you. The second time you hear the sentence, write it down. My bottle of lotion is on the table. My bottle of lotion is on the table. Today and every day, remember that final stable syllables are in the final position because they don't change and they have their own vowel sound.